My name is Miguel Aguilar. I got my BFA in 2000, and then I got my Master's of Art in Teaching in 2011. I started undergrad in 1994, and it was on a merit scholarship from CTA. They used to have graffiti competitions back then. When I started undergrad, I really felt like graffiti wasn't accepted as part of my formal training, so I kind of had to keep it to myself and learn all these larger ideas about the history of art and what painting looked like throughout centuries of art history. I was really pushed in my painting classes to sort of look at my Latin American history and maybe build off of that or continue with those references in my artwork. But I couldn't let go of what I was doing in the street and learning on my own. So more by my junior and senior year, I was able to start bringing photographs of my graffiti into my critique. Because there weren't any studio accommodations for large format spray painting at that time, rather than going to studio class, I would go paint walls and just check in individually with my instructors. I feel like the graffiti community in Chicago has really changed since when I was a teenager. And back then, there was certainly a community, but there were a lot more principles and guidelines and sort of this mentor-mentee mentality, and almost graduating into more established collaboratives known as like graffiti crews. When I was finishing up my program, part of it was doing student teaching at a public high school in back of the yards area. And towards the end of it, it was very interesting. I taught a unit lesson on how to design a mural for the school. And everyone in every class had to participate and design a mural. We then critiqued everyone's designs and went through a voting process to pick which mural would actually get painted in the school itself. So once we got to that point, the lead artist, who was chosen by his peers, was able to stay through prolonged periods and guide his other students to finishing the product. There's a responsibility to try to pull a student's voice out of him or her in the classroom. So because of some of the communities that I deal with in Chicago, a lot of the students aren't used to having a voice or being able to express themselves in conventional education. So I take the responsibility in my own classrooms to let them know it's okay to have a voice, let them know that they can take creative risks in exploring new ideas, that there aren't any consequences. In the classroom, we're talking about art, and ideas are safe. Through the program, I learned that lived experience is really valuable as an education format. Community stakeholders are another way of looking at education outside of school. And it really gave me a comfort level and almost this confidence that I had learned in probably one of the most authentic ways I could have ever learned.